What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Dreamin', so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, it's a little early for me to do this, or I'm doing it a little bit earlier than I normally do, which is just checking to see what the wild season permit sales or purchases have looked like over this past season. And as you can see, it is on another downtrend, right? We're at 2012 versus 2035, so it's a negative 23, but there's still 3 days left in the season. Part of the reason that I got so curious and wanted to talk about this a little bit earlier than usual, because we may just see some random stragglers come in. I don't know why, but sometimes people just buy wild passes like a day or two before the season ends. But either way, I don't think it's going to be that significant. So it will still be on another downtrend. But the reason that this one, in my opinion, is slightly different is because now we have survival mode, and I don't know how much survival mode might be cannibalizing the wild season purchases. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's say you have just like a decent deck, right? And yes, it makes sense in the past where you would just go and buy survival mode, pay for the wild pass. Sorry, not survival mode. You pay for the wild pass and maybe bought your account or whatever the case is. Well, there's a new cool kid in town, which is survival mode. And I do wonder if people maybe kind of got away from purchasing the wild season pass and decided to just check out survival mode. Again, it's hard to know what those numbers are because we've been on a decline for a while, so a decline is always going to be expected. But the thing is, until we can get a massive amount of new players, but I would say that the incentive is even lower now because let's say for example, you had just like a max Chaos Legion deck and you were botting it and it was doing okay, right? And I'm talking about players here that again, they're just trying to arbitrage the opportunity, and it's good, it's whatever, and it's not about yes, it is about the return, but it's not about they're not just trying to maximize min-max, whatever the case is. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if there are players out there, and I would love to hear feedback if there's anybody that fits this mold, but if there are players out there who are heavily invested in the ecosystem, and maybe they had their account or an alt account that just had one card or one set, and it was going through and playing, the wild format, that would make sense. But if all of a sudden the wild or survival mode allowed them to maybe take a bunch of extra cards, throw it onto that account, and then just see what happens with survival mode, at least in this first season or first couple seasons, that will be another reason that we could see this potential drop. So I was actually expecting the drop to be significantly higher than this, and maybe what will end up happening, because it took a while for the survival mode reward pool to fill up, and we're only seeing the massive amounts, people earning over 1,000 SPS per win. We're only seeing that now over these past couple of days. So therefore, I'm actually anticipating that next season we could see a significant drop-off. So while we're still above 2,000 accounts, again, it's not that much, and I do wonder what the viability of wild format will be in the future. Don't get me wrong, I think there will still be people who want to be competitive and they'll have just one deck, right, or one main collection that they use and not a bunch of extra cards. But survival mode does add an interesting twist into this, which takes away some utility from wild format, in my opinion, right? Just because you don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay that fee. How this plays out in the future, what the tweaks the team might make, right? I was thinking that the wild pass should cover both survival mode and wild format, right, at some point. But and mainly because survival mode, while interesting, it doesn't, and I'll probably make a separate video on this, I just want to cover it quickly here. Survival mode does still play into the issue that we originally had with wild format, and the reason why the wild season permit even came about. It allows people to buy a bunch of cards, right, and essentially just farm the system forever. And so instead of it being one deck now, right, one collection or one main set, I mean, sure, you could buy 5 sets and then just let that thing go to town every season for eternity and not have to put anything else into the game. So again, I'll do a video kind of talking about that more because it's been on my mind, and I'm sure the team is going to tweak things as they go forward. But that would be my guess at some point in the future. My suggestion, just kind of giving a little bit of a preview here, is we should probably extend it so that the wild pass is required for both survival mode as well as wild. But if you buy it, you get access to both, right? So that therefore people like it's not an extra cost. I'm already paying for the wild pass with wild, but again, that's just something else. I'm kind of getting outside the purview of this video, which is to say that once again, wild season permit purchases are down, and they've been on a steady decline. But I don't know if we're getting to the point now where it's slowing down simply because we are at whatever this like level is, right? Like where your hardcore players are not going to leave, or if it will continue downward, especially with the market being the way that it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.